So let me tell you what's blowing my mind and why I put the title is Stop Spiritually Ho Ho Hoing. Power, it's good to see you. Okay? I think many people come and they get a divination from me and my Ifa family, and they assume that this divination is just like doing psychic readings. And I don't know how many times to explain and or discuss it and or say that that's not what this is. The other thing is, it kind of scares me, and I'll be frank in that, the amount of direction that someone may want to the umpteenth power. It's giving me, uh, I'll follow you to the ends of the earth vibes. Granted, that is flattering, but that's not what I'm here for, right? So when people get a divination, the other thing is I do my videos intentionally so that it teaches people, hey, yeah, a boy, it teaches people from a perspective of I don't have a clue what's going on and what's happening. But this spiritual hoeing, though, they'll jump, get a divination, then say, I'm working on my elbow, then jump, go get some psychic readings over and over again. And I'm not saying that people in the space don't go get a psychic reading every once again. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but you just got something done. And every time you do that, you're getting screwed over and over again. And you don't even look at it that way. How many times you don't even want to walk into a room? Oh, thank you so much, Iha. Thank you. You don't even want to walk into a room and have it feel icky. Why would you be okay, whether it be on in social media or in person, having people tap that ass all the time online and spiritually? Hello, PCC. You came in it right at the right time. Like, think about that for a second. That's a lot of tapping, okay? And if you happen to be male, and if you happen to be male that you like tapping ass, okay, tapping your ass too. Just why would you want to do that? Peace, Jacks. So do not godify or glorify myself, my Luwu, or any of us in this tradition. Don't do that. That's not the point. It's not what it is. This is very much an individualized practice that then becomes a social or group project due to the people you surround yourself with. But if you gonna keep on busting it open wide to the left and to the right every time, it is not my job, nor is it anybody else's job in this practice to tell you exactly how to live your life. The word of Olodumare already tells you what that is. But you are not going to get line by line instructions. And I keep coming back to, I understand that it's a form of abuse. You're so used, and you don't even realize it, to having a psychological and emotional abusive aspect with traditional religious man-made practices that you don't know how to accept an indigenous African practice that doesn't spell out exactly what you need to do. And the thing is, Ifa gives you the blueprint. But that blueprint does not include how you get to those rooms that you see created. It's part of your life lessons. It's part of your learning process. But the amount of people that want me to tell them exactly how they're supposed to do something, that scares me. And it scares me because that's how cults exist. That's how people be drinking Kool-Aid. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, that's not it. And anybody chasing that kind of responsibility and power to tell you to do things like that, you need to run. I'm just glad that your discernment has you in somewhat of a place where you can be receptive to the things that you're being taught. And I understand that some people, they don't know how to operate outside of a construct that says, you need to wake up at this time, eat at this time. You need to follow and say this prayer this way in order for you to be aligned in this way to do this. I understand that. And I understand that you're so used to people saying, well, go look in the book. Turn to this. Check this out. I get it. But that's not what this is. We're not a go look in the book. It's an oral tradition, number one. We are give you the basis of the concepts and then you still have your free will. You still got to figure it out. So when people say to me, well, something came up in my divination, what happens if I don't follow the directive? Well, fuck around and find out. Don't follow it. Then come back and tell me what happened. The other part is what you ask for help for if you don't want to listen to the help. So I'm not going to convince you either way. You can do what you want to do. I constantly say, and I talk to you all from an individual space. It is, I can only tell you what has happened in my life. I can only tell you that I'm here to have my door to be knocked on so I can help you with what happens in yours. That is my job. That is my destiny. That is who I am. I don't know what it's like now not to follow the directive, because sense told me that if I'm doing the shit I'm supposed to be doing, and the reflection in my life is that, and people are wondering, how do you look so young? How don't you look so stressed? Why aren't you worried about this? Because I didn't fuck around and find out. I didn't mess around and just go, well, I guess I'll just skip this. I already lived that life. I lived that life of, I'll just do whatever I want to do. That's how I got here. You already went through those trials and tribulations. That's why I got peace now. So I'm like, well, what happens if I don't? Well, don't. I'm not you, boo. Don't do it. You know, I'm about to be those girls. Don't do it, girl. Don't do it. Yeah, girl, I did it. No, girl, don't do it. That's what I'm going to tell you. Don't do it. Don't ask me shit. Don't. Just don't do it. What did you waste your money for? What did you waste your time and energy for to come over here to have us give you a directive, to have a Lord of Mars say, hey, this would help you out, for you to be like, well, I don't know if I could do that. Or to ask me 1,000 times, well, how long do I have to do that for? The shit. Like, as long as you need it in order to keep you straight. If I keeps you on your destiny, keeps you on your path, if I keeps you from climbing up boulders, if I allows you to step over pebbles, does that mean you will never learn the lesson? No. But what that does mean is your lesson isn't going to be detrimental to you and your life path. That's another thing. So when I'm asked, so what is my life path? I was expecting to get that. People are so mad when it's not a job. When it's not like, you need to be a doctor. You need to be a judge. You should be a social worker. That tells me right there again how abused you are, that you figure that your life path is a job. Your life path will always be something of service. Always. The end result will be you serving someone else, because that's what makes your spirit grow. That's what makes you grow. Because again, very much an individualized practice that then becomes communal. If you work on you, case in point, work on you, your life is at peace. You're doing the things that you need to be doing, right? You checking in every once in a while. You getting and I see the time. You check in every once in a while. You getting your divination done when you feel like, because they're like, well, if I get initiated, do I still need? Hell yeah, we all still need divination. You don't think we get off track? You think we're all holier than thou? Come on. No. Human first. I try to draw the line for y'all. There's always an essence you're going to see around people who practice this tradition, because we're walking in what we're supposed to be walking in, and we're at peace with what we're doing. That's why you're going to see, like, you seem happy. You have a glow. Because you know what happiness is? True happiness is the ability to recognize peace in your life. That's what happiness is. People think it's a whole feeling, this thing on the outside that they show other people. Happiness is peace. That's it. Peace that you know not everybody's going to like you. Peace that you know you may hate what you do right now, but it's going to help you get to the end goal of whatever else you need to do. Peace that you're not going to get along with everybody. Peace that there may be some judgment on you. Peace that you just start not giving a shit. Because nothing that they do is going to be with you when you go to the afterlife. Nothing. They're not going to be buried with you. They're not going to be hanging out with you over there. Do you know what I'm saying? So when you have peace in that the judgment of what they do today will not affect you tomorrow. Because after somebody goes, all the possessions in the world can be there, and they will put them out on the street corner because they're just trying to clear the space to make room for something else. Come on now. You have your whole life reduced to items that are going to be cleared out, and you worried about what other people think. True happiness is peace. Yes, because of the active reading. No, Power. This conversation comes from some of the follow-up questions. The waiting list, it's not a problem. Those people that come on and see that there's a waiting list, they're good with that because they're just happy it's going to come at the time that they need it. But it just comes with some of the things where I'm like, I know I did videos on this. I know I've said this. I don't know how else to convey this because I think people are spiritually screwing things and people just because they want answers, and when they don't feel that the answer is exactly how they imagined it to be, because they put their perception of how they believe the response should be on other people. And y'all heard me talk about don't put your perceptions on other people, don't say what you think they would do. They don't understand the concept, and it blows them. They're so used to being told how to do, what to do, when to do, that they don't know how to handle that. So you know what they do? They go back, they book a million different readings. And I'm not saying those of us don't. I'm not saying we don't. But you just got an answer and you are already booking a reading with Tom, Dick, and Sally. And then you're letting them tap that ass in this energy. And you're like, okay. And then you still need to work on the shit that you were told. There is nothing. That's why when people go, do you know how long it'll be before I find a boyfriend? Is this person the one for me? Am I going to be married? Am I going to marry this person? Will they align with me? Will I find love? You will find what you attract. And if you attract confusion, that's what you're going to get. But because that's the answer versus you're going to meet them in June, not even realizing that spiritual time is definitely different than physical time here on earth. Our human time is not spiritual time. So we think we've been waiting forever. And the truth of the matter is it's only been a blip. We just got to the emotional maturity to deal with what was going on. Do you see what I'm saying? Everybody thinks that it's a hard lesson to get to a certain spot. But until you go through certain lessons, you can't respect the spot that you're in. So when you start screwing everything because you want the answer you want. You don't want the answer that is right for you. You want the answer that you want. So you didn't miss too much. Peace. You didn't. We just talking about spiritually tapping that ass. And people not understanding they want the answers. So that's where this came from. Power. And it's so good to see. That's twice today. Look, we on a roll. That's where it came from. It's sort of like, it's cultish to me. And it's already hard enough to take responsibility for people outside of your family. So then you all that come and get help from me are then considered my family.